Hello Mila, hello Jack. Hello everybody else who's watching. Welcome to Storytime with Grandad. Today's book is from the Wombles and it is Bigfoot Womble. Bungo was reading a very exciting book in bed one night. It says here that the Bigfoot Womble is over 8 feet tall and has the strength of 10 Wombles. But none of the other young Wombles would believe him. "Oh, go to sleep, Bungo," said Tomsk, throwing a pillow at him. The next morning, Tobermory and Alderney were trying to move the burrow buggy, which was stuck fast in the mud down by the lake. But the wheels were just spinning round and round, spraying Tobermory with mud. Bungo and Tomsk were watching and thought that was very funny, but Tobermory didn't. Bungo and Tomsk were supposed to be out on the common doing some tidying up, but they hadn't got very far when Stepney came into sight pushing his barrow. "Look what I found," he said, holding up an old camera. "I'm taking it to show Wellington." "Oh, he's gone to check the weather station," said Bungo. "Let's have a look at that. I can see all kinds of things." Oh, there in front of him was a giant footprint. "It must be from a Bigfoot Womble. Let's see if we can find it and take its photograph." Alderney and Tobermory were still struggling to get the burrow buggy out of the mud. "We'll just have to try and pull it out with a rope," said Tobermory. But the buggy would not budge, and Tobermory ended up all muddy again. The young Wombles got all their Bigfoot hunting gear ready and set out to try and track down the giant Womble. Bungo led the way, and they were all too excited to notice a rustling sound in the bushes. Suddenly, at the top of a small hill, Bungo spotted what looked like the door to a cave. "Tomps, Stepney, look! This must be where Bigfoot lives," he shouted. But when Bungo turned around, Tomsk and Stepney had vanished. "Tomsk, Stepney, where are you?" "What's happened?" whispered Bungo, feeling quite scared. And then he heard something, the sound of heavy footprints. And the next moment, a giant Womble came into sight. It had a leafy head and arms like tree branches. "Ooh, I'm the Bigfoot Womble," it said in a scary voice. Then Bungo saw it was just Stepney sitting on Tomsk's shoulders. He was wearing a wig made of leaves and had 2 branches for arms. Stepney and Tomsk thought that their trick was very funny, but Bungo was furious. "Stop playing silly games. I've found where the real Bigfoot lives," he said. "Come on, I'll show you. Bring the camera." And Bungo led the way to the cave. Now they were all a bit scared. Suddenly a twig snapped. "What's that?" said Tomsk, jumping. The stick holding the cave door open had broken. The door banged shut. They were trapped. "Perhaps we can get out the other end," said Tomsk, but the tunnel was blocked. "Supposing the Bigfoot comes back and finds us," whispered Bungo. Now they were really very scared. "Let's go back to the front again. Maybe we can open the door," said Stepney. Then he could hardly believe their luck. The door had been propped open. "We're free," shouted Bungo. "But how did it get open?" said Tomsk. "Only one thing could have opened it," whispered Bungo. "The Bigfoot. At that moment, two enormous feet came into sight. It was Wellington. "I've been checking the weather gauges up in the trees. It's easy to reach them on these stilts," he explained. They all went back to the burrow. The buggy was parked outside. "I see you've got the buggy out of the mud," said Bungo. Tobermory scratched his head. "How did that get here?" "The Bigfoot Womble," said Bungo. "Don't talk nonsense. Now, go and have your tea." And as they went into the burrow, neither of them heard the sound of heavy footsteps walking away across the common. The end. Goodbye, Mila. Goodbye, Jack. I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.